Naning defend. Mi nombre es Mariana. I am the CEO of Wikimedia Foundation. But more importantly, I was born in Cairo, in Egypt. I grew up mostly in the United States, in Texas. I studied in the United Kingdom, and my home is in Johannesburg, in South Africa. Tomorrow, we have a long session to talk about the Wikimedia Foundation. We can celebrate, we can complain, we can do everything tomorrow. So today, I wanted to just tell you three stories before we come to the session tomorrow. First story, briefing. I joined Wikimedia 1 year in January 2022. Before I started, I spent 2 months speaking to many people in the Wikimedia world, and many of you in this room I spoke to before I started, to try to learn from you what I was getting into and what the challenges and opportunities were, not just for Wikimedia, but for these communities. The most important thing that many of you told me, so I'm telling it back to you, is that you were most worried about whether we were talking about what the world needs from us. That we were focused out, not only in, because people said to me, these are your words, not mine. You feel worried when we spend all our time talking about ourselves and our own challenges, because we might miss what the world needs us to do the math. So I hope that in the next 2 days, we have many conversations about the internal Wikimedia movement, that we don't forget to talk about the rest of the world, what the world needs. Because what I've seen with Wikimedia is sometimes, and it's true for all human beings, we want to welcome outsiders, but then once we come inside, we stay with what we know. That's very normal. And so how do we keep looking out so we can keep bringing in more new people? And the second story is I live in a country with many elephants. We go see elephants on safari. I think a few of you have heard me talk about elephants before. I'm only going to show one elephant story today. It's a Wikipedia article in English, but let me check in Spanish. It's there. It's a story about the blind people who approach an elephant. Each blind person has their hand on a different part of the elephant. So one person is touching the tail, one person is touching the trunk, one person is touching the leg of the elephant. All of them can't see. So when they each describe what they are experiencing, it doesn't make sense to the other people because nobody is having the same experience, even though they're all in the same space touching the same animal. Given what I know about some of the conversations planned for our time together later today, I think it's an important parable because each of us live what we know, but we're all in the same kind of thing. Oh, the last story is there is a lot from the movement to learn from all of you. This is the group that helped great national borders, starting to think about how can these come together, not just like countries. So it's a history and a tradition that we the last comment. So just I think if we put those together, I hope we can keep the conversation as focused out, not only in. I hope we can see all of the elephant together. And I hope we can take the tradition and the history of this crew and take it forward for whatever comes next. Thank you for having me and my colleagues, the foundation and the board members that are here. I'm with you for the whole conference. It's not a big deal to talk to me, so I hope I'll talk to all of you in the time that I'm here over the next few days. And so,